everyone, I'm Peabody. I'm a DJ and producer in New York City, and this is my experience of meditating almost every day for the past 10 months. So I've been meditating almost every day for the past 10 months at this point. Especially in the beginning, I was meditating almost every night, an average probably of 4 to 5 times per week. More recently, I would say I probably meditate about 3 times per week. So I've been pretty consistent about meditating on a regular basis. I started meditating initially because I was in a situation with an extreme level of stress. I was launching a startup company, and in addition to all of the work and effort that I was putting into it, I had all my resources into that and was not making any income. So I was also in a situation of really poor finances. I was broke, and there's just a whole additional level of stress that comes with that. And so in addition to being broke and living this really kind of deprived life where I didn't have any money and I had lots of financial worries, eventually I realized that the startup was not going to succeed, that what I was working on was going to fail. And the realization of that, combined with the years that I had spent putting into it, being deprived, being broke, just led to a mental breakdown. I got into a place where I felt like I was losing control over my own thoughts, and that was not just really scary, but it also felt like I was damaging my brain. I could almost feel it, and I got into this brain fog that was just very scary and really unpleasant. And so I started meditating not to kind of solve all of those issues, which I knew that it wouldn't. I thought that it might help me take the first step in terms of changing my sleep habits and maybe getting better sleep. And I hoped that maybe that could be kind of the first brick in getting out of the state of kind of high anxiety and maybe help me deal with stress a bit better. I was essentially using it as a wind down ritual, which is one of the things that sleep experts will tell you is a really good idea, to start by winding down before you go to sleep and not just going straight to sleep. So I thought meditation could be an effective kind of buffer as a way to wind down before I went to sleep. So what has been the effect? Well, I can't really say that it has changed my life. I know you will see a lot of YouTube videos where people will talk about how meditation has transformed their life, and that really just hasn't been my experience. I am in a better mood. I am a lot calmer. I don't have that sense that my mind is slipping that I had, which was very unpleasant. And it has improved my sleep habits as well. But those are also due in part to the fact that I'm no longer in that super highly stressful situation that I was in. So how do I meditate? So I do guided meditations. There are 2 that I use. Both of them are available on YouTube, and I'll link them in the description. One of them is a popular one from Sealey that is focused on anxiety. So I'll use this one before I go to bed, and I mainly just kind of do affirmations as I'm listening to it. The affirmations kind of serve as a way to focus my mind on things that I want to happen or that I want to achieve, and I'll use those affirmations to kind of build a bridge to a future state. The other one is a bit shorter. It's only about 10 minutes, and I'll actually use this one during the day. It's specifically for focus, and I'll use it to kind of focus my mind or calm and quiet my mind during the day as I'm working. And it does focus my mind. I can feel a noticeable feeling or sense of being more focused. It lasts probably about 30 minutes. So again, it's not sort of transforming my entire day or anything like that, but it is a notable difference in how I feel that lasts for a certain amount of time. I also find that it helps with sleepiness during the day. So if I'm feeling sleepy, I'll take a break, spend 10 minutes doing this guided meditation, and coming out of it, I will feel less sleepy and more focused. So I do have a few tips for those of you who are interested in trying out meditation. Not all of these tips are recommended by all of the videos that I've seen. So they're just kind of things that I found to be effective for me meditating. The first one is taking deep breaths. Taking deep breaths is known to help calm you down, and I find this to be very effective in focusing my mind as I'm meditating. So I will breathe in and breathe out very deeply when I'm meditating. A lot of meditation instructions will tell you not to breathe deeply and instead to try to breathe naturally and just focus on observing it. But I found that deep breaths are really helpful for calming and focusing my mind. You'll definitely hear in a lot of guided meditations the instruction to observe your breath. The way that I sort of observe it or think about it is as if my mind is sort of a handle that can kind of control my breath, and I'll actually think about pulling it up as I'm inhaling and pushing down as I'm exhaling, and that's kind of how I observe my breath. It's actually difficult for me to just observe my natural breath. I find that if I start to do that, I will often stop breathing, and so it takes a lot of focus for me to just kind of observe my natural breath, and I can only maintain that for about 1 minute at a time. So what I'll usually do is towards the end of the meditation, I'll take maybe the last few minutes to just focus really intently on my natural breath, as long as I can hold it. And then coming out of that, my mind feels really calm and quiet, and I feel very focused. I also recommend counting breaths. This is actually something that you'll hear in the 10-minute one for focus. It instructs you to count 1 breath as an inhale and 2 as you exhale, and to do this to a count of 10 and then start over. I find that if I can make it through 3 10 counts, it really does help focus my mind. So I've started doing this during my nighttime meditation as well, even though it's not part of the instructions. My last tip is that I don't personally meditate to fall asleep. I know that some people do meditate as a way to fall asleep, but I think that meditation should be about an active mind. Your mind should be active as you're meditating. And so whenever I feel myself kind of dozing as I'm meditating, I'll actually stop and just go to sleep. It just kind of feels unnatural or incorrect to be falling asleep when I'm trying to focus my mind. In general, I see meditation as something that I do to focus my mind or bring my mind to a certain place before I go to bed, not the thing to kind of make me fall asleep. So that's the story of how I started meditating and my experience doing meditation for almost a year now. Thank you all for watching. Please leave any comments about your experience meditating or any questions that you have for me. I'm very interested to hear what you all think. Don't worry about subscribing to this channel. It's brand new and I don't know what direction I'm going to take it in. I just wanted to share my experience with meditation to see if it might be helpful for anyone. And thanks for watching. Cheers.